Hi there, welcome back. Thank you for clicking on this video. We're going to continue on with Read Aloud Time with Miss Johnson, and we're going to finish reading The One and Only Ivan. We have about 5 parts left of the book. We're almost done, as you can see. So where we left off was George and Julia put up the picture that Ivan had created to try and save Ruby. So we're going to see how that helps her and what happens next. Here we go. The next morning, I watch Mac's car slam to a halt in the parking lot. He leaps out, he stares at the billboard, his jaw is open. He doesn't move for a long time. Mad human. A mad gorilla is loud, but a mad human can be loud too, especially when he was throwing chairs and turning over tables and breaking the cotton candy machine. Phone call. Mac is kicking a trash can across the food court when the phone rings. He answers it, red-faced, swearing. "What the?" he demands. Glares at me. "I don't know what you're..." He starts to say, but then he stops to listen. "Who? Julia who?" "Oh, sure, George's kid. She's the one who called you?" More talking, with the phone to his ear. Mac comes closer to my cage, eyeing me suspiciously. Yeah, he says. He paints, sure. We've been selling his art for a while now. There's a long pause. Yeah, absolutely. It was my idea. Mac nods, a smile starts at the corner of his mouth. Photos? No problem. You want to see him in action? Come down, have a look. We're open 365 days a year. Can't miss us. We're right off I-95. Mac picks up the overturned trash can. Yeah, he'll be adding more pictures. It's what do you call it? A work in progress? When the call is done, Mac shakes his head. Impossible, he says. An hour later, a man with a camera comes to take my picture. He is from the local paper, the one Julia called. How about you take a picture of me and the elephant, Mac suggests. He drapes his arm around Ruby's neck, grinning into the camera. Perfect, the man says. Perfect, Mac agrees. So there's the photograph that the journalist took. A star again. A photo of my billboard is in the newspaper. Mac tapes the story to my window. Each day, more curious people arrive. They park in front of the billboard. They point and shake their heads. They take photos. Then they come to the mall and buy my paintings. While visitors watch, I dip my hands in fresh buckets of paint. I make pictures for the gift shop and pictures to add to the billboard. Trees with birds, a newborn elephant with glittering black eyes, a squirrel, a blue jay, a worm. I even paint Bob so he can be on the billboard too. I can tell that he likes the picture, although he says I don't quite capture his distinguished nose. Every afternoon, Mac and George add my new pictures to the billboard. People slow their cars while they work. Drivers honk and wave. My gift shop pictures now cost $65 with a frame. The Ape Artist. I have new names. People call me the Ape Artist, the Primate Picasso. I have visitors from morning till night, and so does Ruby. But nothing's changed for her. Every day at 2, 4, and 7, Ruby plods through the sawdust with Snickers on her back. Every night, she has dreams. Bob, I say after I've soothed Ruby to sleep with a story, my idea isn't working. Bob opens one eye. Be patient. I'm tired of being patient, I say. Interview. This evening, a man and a woman come to interview Mac and George, and also George and Julia. The man has large and heavy camera perched on his shoulder. He films me as I make pictures. He films Ruby in her cage and her foot roped off in the bolt in the floor. Mind if I take a look around? He asks. Mac waves his hand. Be my guest. While Mac and the woman talk, the cameraman walks through the mall. He pans his camera right and left, up and down. With his eyes fallen on the claw stick, he stops. He trains his camera to the gleaming blade. Then he moves on. Early news. Mac turns on the TV. We are on the early news at 5 o'clock. Bob says I don't let it go to my head. They all were. Mac, Ruby, me, George, and Julia. The billboard, the mall, the ring, and the claw stick. Signs on sticks. In the morning, several people gather in the parking lot. They're carrying signs on sticks. The signs have words and pictures on them. One has a drawing of a gorilla cradling a baby elephant. I wish I could read. Protesters. More people with signs come today. They want Ruby to be free. Some of them even want Mac to shut down the mall. So here's a bunch of their signs. In the evening, George and Mac talk about them. Mac says they're protesting the wrong guy. He says they're going to ruin everything. He says, "Thanks for nothing, George." Mac stomps off. George, holding his mop, watches him leave. He rubs his eyes. He looks worried. "Dad," Julia says, looking up from her homework, "you know what my favorite sign was?" George asks. "Which one?" "The one that said, 'Elephants are people too.'" George gives her a tired smile. He goes back to work. His mop moves around the empty food court like a giant brush, painting a picture no one will ever see. Check marks. A tall man with a clipboard and pencil come to the visit. He says he's here to inspect the property. He doesn't say much more, but he makes many check marks on his paper. He looks at my floor. Check. He examines Ruby's hay. Check. He eyes our water bowls. Check. Mac watches him, scowling. Bob is outside, hiding near the dumpster. He does not want to be a checkmark. Free Ruby. Every day there are more protesters and cameras with bright lights. Sometimes people carrying signs about "Free Ruby, free Ruby." "Ivan," Ruby says, "why are people yelling my name? Are they mad at me?" "They're mad," I say, "but not at you." A week later, the inspecting man comes back with a friend, a woman with smart, dark eyes like my mother's. She has a white coat on. She smells like lobelia blossoms. Her hair is thick and brown, the color of the rotten branch teeming with luscious ants. She watches me for a long time, then she watches Ruby. She talks to the man. They both talk to Mac. The man gives Mac a sheet of paper. Mac covers his face. He goes to his office and slams the door. New box. Something strange is happening. The white-coated woman is back with other humans. They place a large box at the center of the ring. It's Ruby's sized. And suddenly I know why the woman is here. She's here to take Ruby away. Training. The woman leads Ruby to the box. She places an apple inside. "Good girl, Ruby," she said kindly. "Don't be afraid." Ruby inspects the box with her trunk. The woman makes a clicking sound with a little piece of metal and she is holding with her hand. She gives Ruby a piece of carrot. Each time Ruby touches the box, she gets a click and a treat. "Why is she making that clicking noise?" I ask Bob. "They do that to dogs all the time," Bob says. I can tell he doesn't approve. It's called clicker training. They want Ruby to associate the noise with the treat. When she does something they want, they will make the noise. "Great job, Ruby," the woman says. "You're a quick study." After many clicks and carrots, she takes Ruby back to the cage. "Why is that lady giving me carrots when I touch the box?" Ruby asks. "I think she wants you to go inside," I explain. "I think she wants you... but there's nothing inside," Ruby says, "except an apple." "Inside the box," I say, "is the way out." Ruby tilts her head. "I don't get it." "See the picture in the red giraffe of the box? I think the lady..." Oh, I got to show a picture. There's a picture of the box. See the picture of the giraffe in the box? I think that lady is from the zoo. Ruby, I think she's getting ready to take you there. I wait for Ruby to trumpet with joy, but instead, she just stares at the box in silence. "I'm not sure you understand. The box might be taking you to a place where there are other elephants," I say. "A place with more room and humans who care about you." But even I say the words, I remember with a shudder the last box I was in. "I don't want a zoo," Ruby says. "I want you and Bob and Julia. This is my home." "No, Ruby," I say. "This is your prison." Alright, so nothing had really happened until the end, so I'm going to stop it there because I think that's a good place to leave off. So, do you think she's going to go to the zoo? I really hope she is. Sounds like what Ivan did kind of started something and more people got involved. So maybe Ruby's going to be able to go to a zoo. Let me know what you think. Hope you like this video. Tune in next time. Bye, everybody.